What causes a customer to come back after a disc brake service? More importantly, what can we do to prevent the comeback in the first place? Those are two questions that we're going to answer in today's Mighty Minute. Brake noise and pedal pulsation are the two most common reasons for comebacks. Noise is caused by the vibration of the pads in their mounts. One key mistake many techs make when servicing the brakes is to forget to change the brake hardware at the time of service. The hardware applies tension to the pads to counteract the vibration, and they are a wear item. It's also critical to make sure that the caliper is free to move. Be sure to inspect the condition of the caliper mounts and pins, cleaning and lubricating them during reassembly. Always replace worn pins to ensure free caliper movement. Caliper pins and their bushings are often included with the hardware kit, and many brake manufacturers are actually including the hardware kit along with the brake pads so that you have everything you need to do a professional brake service. Noise is also caused by improperly cleaned rotors, a topic I covered back in Mighty Minute number 6. Microscopic metal shavings can be trapped in the grooves of a machine rotor and become embedded in the pads soon after. Pulsation is caused by misalignment between the caliper and the rotor. When the brakes are applied, the pads are forced out against the rotor. If the rotor surface is perfectly parallel to the caliper, the path the pads have to follow is constant. If not, though, the pads will try to move in and out with the rotor, and this results in uneven wear on the rotor and the pulsation you feel in the pedal. There are a number of causes for rotor misalignment. One of the more common is the presence of rust or imperfections in the hub face where it contacts the back of the rotor hat. Prior to reinstalling the rotor, be sure that the hub face, especially around the wheel studs, is free of rust. If we're using the old rotors, clean the backside of the rotor hat as well. Verify that the installed rotor is running true using a dial gauge positioned about 1/4 inch in from the outer edge of the rotor and measuring the lateral runout. Check your service information for the OEM spec. Obviously, 0 is the ideal number, so the closer to 0, the better. If the lateral runout is out of spec, mark the current location of the rotor relative to the hub, and then rotate the rotor one lug position and measure again. This is known as indexing the rotor. Don't assume that new rotors are free from defect. This test applies to new rotors as well as it does to resurfaced ones. Another commonly missed cause is wheel bearing wear. The old trick of grabbing the wheel and giving it a shake will not always reveal a bad bearing. The correct way to check a bearing, both tapered or hub, requires the use of a dial gauge to actually measure the end play in the bearing. A special note here, most technicians understand that adjusting the nut on a tapered style bearing is critical to setting the end play. It's just as critical when you're dealing with a hub style bearing. It's imperative that the spindle or axle nut be tightened to the correct torque. And you can find those specifications in the Mighty Interactive Catalog. Thanks for watching today's Mighty Minute.